Happy Monday, Broncos country. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Broncos. I'm Bri Maces here with Joey Richards. Joey, how was your day?
Bri, I will tell you what. Mondays on their own, pretty terrible. I think we can all agree. All the audience can agree. Mondays are not good. Now imagine Mondays after a Super Bowl win by the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it was atrocious. It was not a good day. I couldn't sleep last night. It wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. It was not fun whatsoever. I didn't like it. Yeah, I don't know. I had to sit there and think about that call while working on Monday. Wasn't my favorite. But Bri, how are you doing?
I was in a rush today. Mondays are always difficult for me. I was eating an Italian sandwich, a sub, in my car because I needed to just get home and jump on the pod. And I happened to spill the entirety, well, half of it, all over myself. So I smell like oil and vinegar, as you would. So just an Italian sub over here. Paul is already first one in the chat. He says, hello, Bri and Joey. Hi, Paul. Thanks for
Wow.
joining us on a reaction Monday, a reaction Monday. Joey joined me on the fan cave today, and it was a really fun episode. So excited for everyone to check that out. Frankie says Joey Garfield Richards.
I
Not
don't
sure
get
what
it.
that's. I don't either.
Frankie, comment the explanation.
Oh, it's the Mondays. It's the Mondays.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. The Mondays are the Monday. This Monday in particular, it sounds like we all had a bad Monday. Bri was dropping sandwiches. I mean,
all over myself.
it was just not a good day. It wasn't fun.
Garfield hates Mondays. I'm sorry, Frankie. I don't know. Like you're throwing crazy references at us first thing here on a Let's Talk Broncos Monday. We're gonna get this show started, but if you would like to Cal, if you would like to join the conversation and see what I'm laughing at and can't highlight on the screen, go ahead and jump on over to the Mile High Sports YouTube or Facebook to get your questions and comments highlighted. I think we obviously know what we're going to talk about today because the Super Bowl was yesterday, and Joey alluded to it with what a terrible note it ended on. I think it was really frustrating to watch that because, okay, let's get it out of the way. The call itself really maybe didn't swing the entire Super Bowl, but the fact that they were getting away with a whole lot more the entirety of the game and the NFL officiating, I'm not going to get fined by saying it, just wasn't there to decide the end of the game, run out the clock, give the Chiefs the ability to do so in such a momentous occasion with Jalen Hurts playing out of his mind. The Eagles probably could have had a chance with a minute and about 30 seconds to be able to have a rebuttal to that last Kansas City touchdown. And we were all robbed of it as football fans. So I think that was frustrating to me. I think a lot of things could have gone differently. That fumble by Jalen Hurts could have ended the game a little bit different. A fumble 6 is hard to overcome, and then multiply it by 2, and you're looking at a definite hardship there. And then just to put the cherry on top of it for Broncos fans, Jordan Norwood's punt return record was also broken by Tony. He sets the record, I think, with a 64 or a 65-yard return. So just a ton of things that went good and bad for whichever team you were rooting for. And if you were rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, I want you to take a good, long, hard look at yourself in the mirror and know exactly why you're wrong. Joey, how'd you feel about that game?
I mean, okay. That call, I want to say this. But the one thing about the call, was it a slight hold? I do think like a slight hold. Now, was it like a big, outrageous one? No. But is that the reason you don't call flag? Of course not. Not usually. The issue for me was that they weren't calling anything like that the entire game. They weren't calling anything like that the entire game. And it's just not fun for anybody to watch a game like that. Like, what's going to happen for a while now is that call is going to be talked about more than how good Patrick Mahomes was, how good Andy Reid was. Of course, history, they'll forget about it. But for the short term, this entire offseason is going to be about that call. And it's going to drive me insane. I'm going to hate it. I have my little opinion on it. I'm going to say it like once. I don't think it should have been called. I really don't. It was one of the best Super Bowls we've seen for a little bit, and for it to end like that wasn't good. But it's going to drive me insane talking about this the entire offseason. I'm not going to like it. I'm really not. Outside of that, Bri, you made a really good point about the scoop and score on the fumble. That was a big one. I don't want that to overshadow Jalen Hurts' performance, though. I wasn't a big Jalen Hurts believer, even coming out of college. I really wasn't. I loved the person Jalen Hurts. The leader was always awesome. I wasn't impressed by the football player all the way. And honestly, I didn't become that until late in this year. Honestly, he had to prove it. I wasn't a big believer. So now I'm looking at Jalen Hurts as one of the best young quarterbacks in the entire NFL. I hope he continues to prove this. I hope he gets another shot at it. It is going to be tough next year. Steichen just got hired by Indianapolis today. Gannon still has an interview with Arizona. There's going to be a lot of they're going to be in cap hell very shortly. So it's going to be a lot of changes. But I'm looking forward to see Jalen Hurts in the future. I really am. I'm a big fan.
I think both quarterbacks had one heck of a game. Just went the way of the Chiefs, and Andy Reid is an absolute treasure there for Kansas City. Frankie was saying earlier that he should just retire, and I think we were talking about that earlier today. You're going to go out on top, 2 Super Bowls in the last handful of years. I think it's just the right thing to do. Give Broncos country a break, all right? You can't continue to do it, can you? Is this the new dynasty? Robert Armstrong over on Facebook says Mahomes deserves it playing through the ankle pain. I didn't think he was going to come back after the roll before halftime. We obviously knew he was going to come back. Patrick Mahomes didn't sit after the first initial injury, and that's what injections, painkillers, and all of those fun things are for. Mahomes obviously came back into the game and just was able to prove exactly why they center an offense completely around him. He obviously has weapons in Travis Kelce and Juju Smith, but it's not that he has the most advanced weapons out there. Andy Reid just knows how to facilitate an offense around Patrick Mahomes and what he's able to do best. And that's a whole lot of scrambling and some crazy, crazy catches by Travis Kelce. That one at his feet, I thought for sure was just going to bounce off of his shins. Obviously, Travis Kelce didn't get the 2 touchdowns that I predicted last week. He got just the one. That field, though, can we talk about what a dumpster fire that was? I think it was Tahoma 31 is the type of golf grass that they decided to roll out for the Super Bowl. First time in an NFL game, that thing gets treated better than most people's front lawns or even their pets for that matter, as it gets all of the natural sunlight. And then to have it be basically an oil slick with that paint on it was something to watch. I'm actually very surprised nobody got seriously injured.
Yeah. I mean, they spent I think it was a year doing that grass and getting it together for the Super Bowl, which is insane. Rolling out a new breed of grass for Super Bowl before we maybe we should test try it. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like that would be a good idea. I don't know about rolling out the brand new breed of grass for the biggest game. And it was a disaster. They were slipping all over the place. Literally all over the place. It was like every single play you saw someone non-contact laying face on the ground. It was bad. It was not good. And the NFL, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Yes, it's probably pretty important to get the grass right in the game. Let's think through these things. Rolling out the brand new breed isn't what we should be doing. Roll with what has worked. Make sure that's the good grass. Put it out there. The ones that have been successful, I don't understand it. I do not understand it, but that was really, really bad.
Robert Armstrong also has a good point. That's why it was a high-scoring game. Listen, I'm surprised the receivers were even able to find any sort of traction, but the defense particularly wasn't able to. Imagine trying to get up under someone's pads and your feet just cannot anchor themselves. And I assume that was a lot of the trouble you could see, but I'm not up for making excuses for either team. I do have a question for Frankie. No QB has been scarier to face than Mahomes. I'd rather face Brady 4 times before facing Patty once. Frankie, to me, that's a very recency bias take. I do not think you wanted to face Tom Brady back in the 2008 to 2012-ish range. I'm trying to remember exactly what those years were. But to me, I don't know. Now, yeah, obviously, I think that Patrick Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks you should fear the most because honestly, he's able to get anything done. But I'm taking a little bit of issue with this comment particularly because it just makes me feel like maybe you weren't watching Tom Brady during his prime.
The
Joey.
thing about Mahomes, where I feel like Frankie's coming from, you can do everything correct, everything as a defense correct. Mahomes just can do not human things to make the play work. He makes bad plays good so often. Whether it be everything covered up, now he's rolling out, he's guys hanging on his ankle. Now he's throwing it halfway to the ground and someone catches it for 10 yards. It happened in the Broncos game this year. I forget exactly what happened. Broken play, though. Guy catches it, breaks it, touchdown. Long touchdown. That's what makes Mahomes so scary. Brady wins in a completely different way than Mahomes. It's hard to compare the two. But I mean, Brady, I think, is the greatest of all time. But Mahomes, I think this is perfect. Paul said it. Mahomes is present day Elway. He is in a lot of ways. He's the most talented thrower of the football I've seen. Talented wise, like just pure talent, the arm angles he's able to throw from, the way he's able to feel pressure in the pocket, escape, and then not only just escape but break tackles, throw ridiculous balls where you're taught at a young age and not to throw that. Mahomes is doing it and doing it successfully. He breaks rules. He breaks football logic. It's like he's like the Steph Curry of football, like where most players you don't want taking that shot 6 feet behind the 3-point line. Mahomes is allowed to. Steph Curry's allowed to. It just breaks all the rules. He's definitely frightening to play.
That's kind of the way the football bounces sort of take, right? If it wasn't working out for Patrick Mahomes, it would be an issue to allow him to continue to play at the same way that he does, which is a rule breaker. Some of the things that he does, you wouldn't allow another quarterback to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's because of the physical tools, Bri. People just don't have that, what he has.
How much longer does he remain a viable quarterback with that skill set without adapting to less of a mobility, more of a pocket? Like he's obviously got talent in that realm, but as his ability to scramble decreases, do his mistakes increase because he's not able to get out of that mentality? Or is that a conversation for 6 years from now?
I think that's a conversation for a while from now. I really do. I mean, it's possible that he regresses. I don't know. It's hard. Father Time hits people at different stages. We just saw Brady play forever. But, it hits people at different stages. It does. So who really knows? I do think, though, his game will age fine. I think with him being able to get away with what he does right now, he's only getting better mentally. And then by the time some of those regress, he's going to be a genius and he's going to be able to win in different ways. That's how a lot of the time I envision his career path going.
I hate this conversation. Frankie says, what does Mahomes have to do to surpass Brady for you guys?
Win multiple more Super Bowls, continuous. It's just the longevity is what it is. Like if he were to continue on this path for a very long time, he's going to have a case. It's just longevity. That's what it is. Brady has so many more years under his belt. A ton. He did it forever. And was good every single year. So it's a longevity for Mahomes. That's what it is.
I think you're talking about two different games, right? Tom Brady's been playing for 20 plus years, and you're asking what Patrick Mahomes in this iteration of the NFL would have to do to surpass an all-time great of a different era. And I don't think that it's fair to compare the two. That's my way of getting out of this conversation because I don't like it. Thank you, Frankie, for your very well thought out questions that have now bothered me to no end. Joey, what did you feel about that halftime performance?
Rihanna's amazing. I liked that performance. She was really good. I mean, I don't know. Bri, how did you feel about it, I guess? I thought the choreography, the dancing, the moving platforms that she was on, everything going up. Then now we're on the ground and everybody's in motion dancing exactly the same. The whole thing was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Was it the best ever? No. Was it up there? I think yes. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. And I forgot how many hits Rihanna has. I completely
Wow.
forgot. I knew every word to almost all of them. Just like, and I'm not like a Rihanna listener. It's just like I've heard these songs through passing. It may have been maybe I'm in someone's car and they had this song up. We know.
Yeah, I think I think that I really realized I was not, I guess, not a Rihanna fan necessarily, but a lot of those songs I knew all the words to. I think the moving platforms were really exciting. Robert Armstrong is having a time in the chat. He does not agree with Joey whatsoever. In fact, he said Joey needs glasses.
Robert, I don't know. I'm not the one that needs glasses. I don't know what now. How was it? Just so this is a very controversial halftime show. I'd like to add. There's a lot of people that say that this wasn't good. I've seen it, but I've also seen people agree with me. What though is the reason why it wasn't good? I never heard the reasoning. Please,
I
someone let me know.
I'm not sure. I wasn't excited about it. Again, I said not like I'm a fan of, but I think it was really, I mean, it was entertaining. I watched the whole thing. I knew all the songs. I think the most impressive part was that she was pregnant and that was her special guest, right? We were anticipating somebody. Well, it turns out it's baby number 2 for Riri. Congratulations. Being tethered to those platforms was really impressive and also very scary as they raised her up into the air. I don't even know how many feet. Very impressive and it's fine. Cal says he'll watch it and decide for everyone. So look for Cal's answer over in the Discord, although I wouldn't
Please
put too
do.
much weight on his opinion over there
No, I want
about
to know.
yeah, we'll go ahead and pull Cal when we're done, when he's done watching the halftime performance. Oh, also, uh, nobody got to see what color the Gatorade bath was because the videographer just completely pulled the camera off of all the action. But I went ahead and I researched it for y'all. It was purple, which was like plus 1,200 for any of the bets that you place there. Also, I didn't hit any of my bets. I was making live wagers. I think I hit like 2 of the different possessions for if they were going to attempt a field goal. So fun there. Anyways, it was a good halftime. I think it was a good Super Bowl. Other than that final call, I think it could have been the one of the better ones that I've seen in recent memory. And not even just because who's playing. I didn't want to see the Chiefs walk away with another one, but I think the Eagles did a fantastic job of keeping up to snuff. And then Jalen Hurts, which I want to circle back on because he's not going anywhere. And I talked about it earlier today on the Fan Cave, is that I really feel like he's made a name for himself out of a lot of doubt to begin the season of whether or
Right.
not he could be a franchise quarterback. And I think that that is now absolutely case in point for Jalen Hurts because he's shown his ability to win games specifically for the Eagles. A 15-2 record going into the playoffs, making it to the Super Bowl. Now he's got a whole lot of ammo as he goes into contract negotiations when his rookie contract is up. So, Joey, tell me, the Eagles would be silly to move on from Jalen Hurts and not pay him what he's
Great.
due.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. I think it would be extremely silly. Like it would be so silly. He's a young quarterback. He's only getting better. You don't move off of guys like that, where you end up in a position where the Broncos were for so many years, and still, I mean, arguably still are. Like you can not move off of those guys because the other side isn't good. The grass isn't always greener, as they say. You might want Mahomes, but here's the issue: there's only like one. You might want Herbert. The issue is there's only like 3. Like that's the issue. Good luck trying to find that guy. The upgrade could be out there. I don't know, but it's so hard to find that you stick with your young quarterback. And I mean, I'm a believer in Jalen Hurts. So you got there this year. Now the Eagles roster was phenomenal. I'd like to say that. Like no weak spots, really. I think their linebacker core was maybe the weakest. And it really wasn't a weak spot. So tougher times are ahead, but I trust him to improve. I trust him to continuously get better. He's still so young. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Makes you wonder how the Broncos take what they currently have with Russell Wilson and turn things around to make an attempt at a Super Bowl or a playoff run moving forward. All week long, heading into the Super Bowl, Media Row was buzzing because Sean Payton was overtaking him along with Coach Prime. Colorado was the talk of the town as 2 head coaches for each respective team was out there at Media Row doing a ton of interviews, having a great time, but also causing a little bit of a stir before. I'm going to bring it up today in the Denver Broncos. Any chance we see Rob Gronkowski be added to the Denver Broncos so that they can make an all-in win now approach to 2023?
I mean, it would be fun. It would be really fun. He's still one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL that last year. He really is. One thing you can't take away from that guy is his size. He may have lost a step, but his size and strength and his blocking technique all will still be there. And there's always a place to have a guy like that. He can go block in a lot of different ways and be successful as an inline tight end, and then you can utilize him in the red zone as a good tight end. Is he going to be the Gronk that we all, prime Gronk in the past? No, let's be realistic. But can he still be useful? Yes. Will it happen? I'm leaning no. It's an outside shot.
It's breaking my heart.
But
useful. You just used the word useful to describe Rob Gronkowski. It's amazing. Robert has a good point. Not with Russ at QB. That's understandable. Just probably would be able to see him, though, flashing across the middle, his hand up in the air. I can see it now. All of the touchdowns, only 8 away from 100, I believe. So, don't cut anybody out until they're ready to be done with it. Although I don't blame Gronkowski. He's out there kicking field goals for millions of dollars for FanDuel, which that was an interesting concept. I don't know why I thought Gronkowski would be kicking a field goal off of the actual field where the Super Bowl was taking place. It looked like CGI. It looked absolutely weird. Did you catch that, Joey?
Yes, that was definitely not real. That's my take. that was absolutely bogus. That's my take on it. If you want NFL conspiracy theories, that's it.
The tinfoil hat almost came out on that one.
Yes, and if you want to have an NFL conspiracies episode, type A in the chat, please. It's something I've been pushing for in the group chat.
That is hysterical. A couple of moves need to be made for the Denver Broncos. Obviously have the offensive line coach, the head coach, but now we're waiting and anticipating a defensive coordinator. Joey, what direction do you think the Broncos go in now that all the eyes are off the Super Bowl and we're ready for the 2023 season?
Defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
We got the Rex Ryan news where he was a person that was interviewed. Rex Ryan is one of the worst TV personalities I think I've ever like top 5 worst. I can't stand listening to him. Now as a defensive coach, he's not bad. That's my take. He's not bad. He's not bad as a defensive coach. And honestly, in his heyday, really good defensive coach. Really, really good. Elite at a certain time Rex Ryan was as a defensive mind. They're still using a lot of his stuff that he does, that he did then. They're still utilizing it. Now, the worry there is he's been out of football for a while. His last time was when he was the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Been a bit. Now, how has his philosophy evolved? Will it fit what today's NFL is doing? I don't know. And that's why you hold an interview, right? How has it evolved? I know his brother, Rob Ryan, is a defensive senior assistant for the Raiders. So he still has family in the business. I'm sure he's still very much paying attention to what's going on. Guys like that don't stop thinking about football. So I guess the interview process would be really telling. It would be interesting to see what he would have to say. Adding on to that, everyone freaks out about it. I understand it because they listen to him on the TV. Like I said earlier, he's not very good on there. But he would yes. It's just an interview, though. That's my main point. Hey, we don't have to panic about it. So that's the big defensive coordinator news that happened. I guess there's a lot of different options the Broncos could go. They were in candidate was the Eagles linebacker coach. He could get promoted if Gannon leaves. I doubt he's only 29 years old and he's been coaching since 2017. So maybe not as qualified as you'd hope. But Mike Zimmer's an option. That would be fun. Obviously, Sean Desai, who I'm a big fan of. Curious why, if he was the number one, why he hasn't been hired yet. But yeah, I guess that's just kind of where we stand right now.
It is not a whole lot else going on, but we'll be sure to keep you updated throughout the week. Let's Talk Broncos is not technically going anywhere. We may take a little bit of a break, but we'll keep you all posted on all of our socials. The LTB podcast over on Twitter. Not going anywhere tonight either. So if you have questions and comments and want to get your Monday reactions out there, now's your chance to hop on over to Mile High Sports YouTube or Facebook. I'll get them highlighted over here. Sorry, I took a break from them. There was a couple coming through. Keep them going. Robert finally came around and said the stage was impressive. So, I think he's coming around on that halftime performance. Joey, did you celebrate with a couple of beers on Sunday?
Multiple beers. And my friend found a frozen margarita maker at somewhere. I don't know. That's another story, though. Hey, but you know what I did drink? Weinsteffen. Weinsteffen, the Hefeweiss beer in particular. That's the one I was drinking. Now, they have multiple other beers. I don't know if anyone's ever tried the Fest beer. That's a fantastic beer. The just premium lager is a great beer. But my favorite is the Hef. It's the benchmark of the wheat style beer. It's the number one selling German wheat beer in the entire United States. It's 5.4% ABV. It's fruity, it's hazy, effervescent. I could go on and on about that beer. I love it. And it's the highest rated German wheat beer available in the U.S. So I highly recommend everybody to drink this beer. It's been around since 1040. Wrap your brain around that.
I know for a fact that we've already had a couple of LTB listeners go grab themselves some. I'm sure that's a little confusing when you have to tell the clerk what you're looking for, because after all, it is hard to say, but easy to drink. So we're glad that Let's Talk Broncos is sponsored by and a partner of, because what better thing to do than crack open a beer and watch some football? I don't know what I'm going to do without football until April, I think, is when USFL starts up again.
Which I will not be watching. I'll be honest with everybody. I'm not watching the USFL.
Not at all. Not a fan. What about the XFL? The XFL's back.
No. I'm going to pass on all of them. I really could. I'm not going to watch it. That's just me personally. Maybe if it just so happens to be on the TV. But like ESPN also has stuff like you ever – who in the chat has seen the that like really intense tag game they show on there sometimes? That's fun. There's fun things on there. I don't know if my brain can also pay attention to who all the players are in the USFL, who all the players are in the XFL. My mind with football just goes so intense on it that I don't think I could. My brain can't like get into that, or it's just going to be too much football. I'm going to burn myself out.
Fair. There's this thing, Joey, in the industry where when you start down a topic, number one rule is not to just brush it off and be like, nah. And you were just like, you know what? No.
I mean, are you gonna watch football? Let's be honest. Are you gonna watch it?
Yes, I'm gonna watch it. I really want to see. I want to see what that.
Let me know. I mean, someone let me know who their favorite XFL player is.
Name 8 people off of the New York Mets roster. I bet you can't. Robert Armstrong wants to know if we have merch. We don't. No, I don't know if we'll ever come out with Let's Talk Broncos shirts. I'll think about it. I don't.
What?
I don't know how I feel.
Robert, I appreciate it. Hats on the way.
Hats of all the things.
Hats, yes.
Would they be flat brimmed or would they be curved, Bill?
I mean, we're serving all different types of hats. We have the buckets, we have the curved. We got all the different types of hats.
Would it be a hat with our logo on it, like the neon?
Yeah.
If you want a hat with the Let's Talk Broncos logo, drop a B in the chat and I'll keep track of all of that.
Please do. I mean, hats would be good. LTB hats.
Who says no?
Exactly.
And maybe Zach, when he comes back, and he'd be like, you did what? And we'd be like, we submitted a bunch of orders for hats and you weren't here to let us know. Samuel Castro's out on the USFL and XFL. I'd rather watch cornhole. There's cornhole championships over on ESPN too, right?
Yeah, they have everything on ESPN. Who seriously watched the tag? Have you ever seen the tag, Bri? Start on like different corners and they have like obstacles. It's crazy.
We were watching it out in Westcliff and I won money from you when we bet on it.
Yeah, you're right. We had a bet. That's right. That's right. We did watch that. Yeah, it's
Because I
crazy.
can't watch a sporting event without putting money on it.
LTB hat would be Heat. Yes, it would. Robert Ott wants one
Um,
too.
yeah, Robert wants one. Samuel Castro's in the Cal kind of does, but he has terms that we need to meet. And then Frankie's pushing soccer. Everyone should start watching Premier League soccer. I won't, but appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. JR, talk to me a little bit about Thursday's show.
Yeah. We will be talking about free agents on Thursday. I'm really excited about it. We're going to have 2 episodes, a part 1 and a part 2. I think we're going to tackle offense, then defense, or it could be vice versa. But I'm excited about this. I've already started film work on some of these free agents. I don't know exactly, obviously, who's going to be available, who's not, but we're going to bring interesting guys to keep an eye out on. Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's every single Thursday, and it's on the Let's Talk Broncos YouTube. Everyone go over to the Let's Talk Broncos YouTube, from this one to the Let's Talk Broncos. Maybe open up another tab and just subscribe. Every single Thursday will be there. And then the DVR version of this podcast will also be uploaded on there. So, yeah, everyone make sure you're checking that out. Frankie is killing it with the NFL draft. If you missed our safety episode, please go back and watch that as well.
Jose Garcia coming in clutch, letting me know that he'll take a visor. Why didn't I think about that? Of course, we're not selling hats. We're selling visors. It's Sean Payton era. It's Sean Payton's team. I'm all about this. That is a fantastic idea. Thanks for popping in the chat and giving us a hello. Samuel Castro says, support the Rapids team. Sure, if you feel so obliged. This is Let's Talk Broncos, but I think we could go ahead and start talking some Rapids if we felt so obliged. Joey, where can everybody find your work?
Yeah, everybody, please follow me at JR Drafts on Twitter. That's where you're going to be able to see all my tweets and stuff like that. I was tweeting really like just in-game emotional, firing takes off during the game yesterday. Deleted about half of those. And then I woke up this morning. I'm like, that literally none of this makes any sense whatsoever. So, but everyone follow me at JR Drafts. And then I'm writing an interior defensive line piece. I think it's really interesting with the Draymond Jones stuff. Is he coming back? Is he not? I think that's a huge thing with the Broncos. So everyone keep an eye out for that on Mile High Sports. I'm releasing articles a lot more often. I would really appreciate it. And then when I drop it, you'll be able to find it at JR Drafts. It's all there.
Yeah, please go follow JR over JR Drafts on Twitter. Go follow Zach_Seegers. He's not going anywhere. He's going to continue to talk Broncos alongside us. But if you're interested in his Buffs coverage, you can go over there and click on the More tab. Buffs tab is right there. It's going to be all Zach Seegers all the time. And if you missed Zach today, you could hear him for a little bit on the Fan Cave from 1 to 2 p.m. with me over on Mile High Sports Radio. Joey was with me today all show long. Zach was able to pop in for the final segment where we talk some Buffaloes, boys and girls basketball, also a little bit of Super Bowl reaction. It's a fun episode. You're going to want to check that out. We'll be there every single Monday. And then you can follow me on Twitter, Bri Maestas 303. Lovely time chatting with you all. As always, can't wait to be back here doing the very same thing. And hopefully we'll have some brand new Broncos news, because guess what? Today is the very first day of the 2023 season. Welcome back, everyone. It's going to be a fun ride. Hashtag Buckham. I think we're going to go with that.
Buckham. I like it.